In today's episode, we get to work on finishing our starter base, as well as some nether exploration, and we start a new project on our mega mine entrance. We started where we left off in the last episode by getting both of the floors in this really cool checkered pattern. Now that the floor is finished, we need to start filling the space. So we mined up our enchantment table and took it up to the base. We also made a way so we can get up onto the second story of our house. So now our base isn't just a hollow shell, I think it's time to move on to some more fun stuff. But before we do, let's get ourselves some diamond armor and we'll upgrade our pickaxe and make our way into the nether. Now the goal of this trip is to find ourselves a bastion, a nether fortress and some blaze rods. Luckily for us, we found a bastion straight off spawn. As I was leaving, I managed to dig straight into lava. However, I knew there was a trick that if you keep logging in and back out of your world, you have a moment of invincibility where the lava doesn't actually tick and hit you. So yeah, here's a little tip. If you got your own hardcore survival world and you do find yourself in a similar situation, just keep logging in and out and you'll be fine. After around 40 minutes, we did come across another fortress and collected a few blaze rods which will be used in a future project. Now that we're finished in the nether, I think it's time to get onto the main project of today's episode, which is building the mega mine entrance. Now I'm really liking the way that these builds have turned out. As you can probably see from the last video as well, I'm always sort of going for these medieval style. That's sort of my favourite time period, which you'll see a lot of my builds will be like this in the future as well. Okay, so now that we've got both of these towers built, we need to have some sort of gate in the middle here, just because I think it looks a little bit empty otherwise, and we need to build some sort of really cool entrance. So we're going to get to work on that. I'll be completely honest here, I do not have any sort of design ideas going on, so I'm just going to build it as I go and we're going to see what we end up with. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great, so I think back to the drawing board and we're going to build something different. And yeah, I think this one actually looks a lot better now. I think once I've done a few more bits of texture into the walls, it's going to look a lot better as well, so we're going to keep at this design and we'll see how we get on with it. So let's finish up the wall here by adding a few more little details, and then we're going to start on the front by building a big stairway entrance. So to start the front of this off, I'm going to try and even this out a little bit here by mining up a bunch of this grass and leveling things off. As you can see that some stuff is floating and not all of the build is actually touching the ground. So to start this off, I'm going to just add a very simple staircase to get an idea of what it will look like. Eventually a lot of this area surrounding the entrance will be turned into farmland and wheat fields. Okay, so I'm really liking how this is now looking, and before we end off today's episode, I think we're going to do a little fly around here just to see everything that we've done. I know the episodes are kind of seeming a bit short here at the minute, but a lot of time and effort is going into these videos. A lot of the time is actually in the time lapses. Those 2 towers took me like 2 hours just to do those alone. But yeah, if you did enjoy this episode, please give it a big thumbs up. Also hit that big red subscribe button if you haven't already. I just want to say thanks so much for all the support on the recent video, and we've just hit over 100 subscribers, which is epic.